So welcome once again to our Sowing Seeds of Faith, our last Sunday on Sowing Seeds of Faith. The 12 Powers of Man, a book by Charles Fillmore, has 12 powers. Zeal is one of them. Faith was the one that our beloved Melissa did last week, and I did one earlier on imagination. But zeal is like joie de vivre. Do you know what joie de vivre? Love of life. So it's French, joie de vivre, joie de vivre, joie de vivre means love of life. Now, the reading today really outlined what zeal is. Zeal is enthusiasm. Zeal is the driving energy of what moves us forward into life with energy and enthusiasm. Now, not everybody has a lot of zeal. Do you think you have zeal? Yeah. Oh, Kat, you definitely have zeal. One of my favorite quotes is this by Charles Fillmore: "I fairly sizzle with zeal, energy, and enthusiasm, eager to do that which I am about to do today." One of my favorite speakers of all time was Steve Jobs. I've done this quote before, but it fits into zeal, where he said he gets up every morning and looks at himself in the mirror and asks himself, am I excited to go do what I'm going to do today? Am I happy to go do what I'm going to do today? And he said, if the answer was no, too many days in a row, it was a call to change. It was a call to do something different. So according to Fillmore, zeal is the energy of life in motion. It's something that really gets us out of bed in the morning. I remember Lynn Twist is the author of The Soul of Money, and I heard her speak in Raleigh, and she did this beautiful talk, but she talked about how when we're in touch with our deepest commitments to life, our passion, that it's like you wake up in the morning and it's pulling you to move. It's like it pulls you into your day. Different than if you're not, I mean, all of us some days really want to linger in bed for a very long time, right? I call them bed days. But you can't have too many of those, right? Because we're called to stand for peace and to stand for love and to stand for joy and to stand for prosperity and to stand for physical and mental, spiritual well-being. And so part of zeal is to get in touch with that and to go out into the world and spread that good news. Now, Fillmore says zeal is not just excitement, it's a focused spiritual energy that brings purpose to all of our actions. Now, I know a lot of people who are not necessarily full of joie de vivre. You guys like that. You like that, don't you? Joie de vivre. I actually like it better than zeal. But how many of us are actually a little bored in life? How many of us are actually a little bit underutilized, feel underutilized by life? How many of us may find ourselves in a rut and not really experiencing what I would call zeal or unbridled enthusiasm or joy? How many of us, when we walk into a room, do we actually light that room up? You know, where you walk in and everybody goes, who the heck is that? I think that was a Carly Simon song about an ascot, right? About Mick Jagger. I don't know. Just ignore that. Whoops. That's not, no, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. That's not what, this is what I want. Zeal is the fervent energy of the Spirit. It is the power that drives us to achieve our highest purpose. Now, how does zeal show up? So let's just assume we're not bored, we're not underutilized. Some of us are also these days, I don't know what the right word is, feeling that the best way to live this life right now, given everything that's going on, is just to hide out, just to lay low, to not really move too far out. But we're called to move far out. We really are. We are called to move in such a way that the very beingness of our lives, the livingness of our lives, makes an impact on the lives of other people. And in order to do that, you have to really like other people. Or if you don't like them, you have to at least know that the power, this one power, one presence, this one life of God that we talk about is in everyone, absent from no one, whether that includes the people you like and the people you don't like. The people you want to engage with and people you don't want to engage with. But all of that, we're going to set that outside because you do not want to live your life in reaction to other people, or in reaction to the news, or in reaction to fear. We want to, God in one is a majority. So you're here, you and the intelligence that governs this universe are connected. You and the creative power of this universe are connected. You and pure, unbridled love and respect, adoration are connected. And in that connection, you move your feet. In that connection, you open your mouth. In that connection, you become a bearer of good news for people who need good news every day. So zeal in action, what does zeal in action look like? Well, it looks like creative endeavors. So are you a painter? Are you a singer, a songwriter, a poetess, a poet? Gender not necessary, right? Are you a chef? What are you, right? So zeal shows up when we are engaged in our creative endeavors. Now, I used to be a person, so my life before my high touch life, or this life, I was kind of a high-tech person. And I would have said, I'm not a creative person. I was in a corporate job. I didn't go around writing songs or poetry. But the truth is, creativity comes with the territory because God, or Spirit, is the ultimate creator. And you are made in its image and likeness. Therefore, you are inherently creative. And if you're not sure whether you are or not, you just haven't allowed that which is creative within you, which is your unique creative expression, to be seen by you perhaps, or maybe it's been seen and discovered by you but not expressed yet. But zeal shows up in creative endeavors. It also shows up in advocacy and social justice, right? People who feel strongly about feeding hungry children, people feel strongly about a conservation of animals and terrain. It's a beautiful place where you'll see a lot of zeal and enthusiasm because people care, right? And that what you care about is that what you become about. And also in our spiritual practices, if you're serious about spiritually growing, evolving, having your highest and best emerge, you're going to be zealous about your spiritual practice, your meditation time, your tree hugging time, your alone time, your prayer time. So all of these things, all of these ways that zeal or enthusiasm show up are ways in which it matters to you. Now, zeal Charles Fillmore says, zeal must be tempered with wisdom or it can consume the very good it seeks to accomplish. So the word, have you ever heard the word zealot? Does it have positive or negative connotations? Negative. Yes, it has negative connotations. And why is because zeal unbalanced, zeal without wisdom, zeal without consciousness becomes aggressive. Becomes overbearing, becomes annoying to the people around you. Have you ever annoyed somebody with your zealousness about a store or a movie or a TV show, you know, where you just talked about it and they finally just said, stop talking about that? Yes. So overzealousness, zeal can sometimes become overwhelming or out of balance and can lead to the person with unbalanced zeal as burnout. We all know what that is, or exhaustion. Yes, I heard a yes. I heard the words of an exhausted one from time to time. I know I can tend to be that way myself, like to get too overbearing. So zeal, he draws a distinction between zeal versus impulsiveness. He says zeal is often confused with impulsiveness or rash action. Zeal is always conscious and directed towards a higher purpose, while impulsiveness tends to be chaotic and without a clear focus. So as with everything, we want to take away anything that holds us back, whether it's fear or embarrassment or the idea that nobody likes what you're talking about or wants what your creative self-expression is, to make room for all of that to be expressed with wisdom and discernment. You can ask yourself the question, is this zeal, is my enthusiasm in alignment with my higher purpose, or am I simply being driven by temporary excitement? Now, when we, don't you love this little picture, this little enthusiasm monitor? When we are filled with zeal, we are inspired with a mighty inner urge to do and to dare. To do and to dare. So there is a quality of courage required to be in life with an untempered, unmonitored love of life, joy of life, inspiration in life. Now, I know that we're unique in that we are a community that practices aliveness. We're here seeking aliveness. My teacher, Dr. Michael Beckwith, used to call the unawakened soul a sleepwalker. And it's not an insult in any way. It simply means one who has not discovered the divinity or the sacredness or the holiness of their being. And one of the qualities of living in that state is subdued, is being a little bit, people are subdued, quiet, apologetic for being too loud, too much, not necessarily moving through life feeling comfortable in their own skins, recognizing their own value, and expressing that value into the world for anyone and everyone who wants to receive it. So we don't want to be sleepwalking through life because life is very short, and it's such a beautiful opportunity. It's like a playground. Somebody said this the other day, I think in the foundations class, that we're actually spiritual beings having a spiritual experience in this playground called Earth. And that we're not our egos, we're not just, blood and bones. We are transcendent, holy beings who will exist in some way on some other plane of existence long after the body leaves the playground. So we have nothing to lose by waking up. We have nothing to lose by taking this journey seriously with joy and happiness. Really, it's good for your body, it's good for your pocketbook, it's good for your mental health, it's good for your friendships and sense of community, to be living in such a way, with zeal. When balanced with wisdom, zeal can transform our lives and the world around us. So the call to action. So begin to identify areas of your life where you can bring forth enthusiasm and zeal. Where are you holding perhaps the areas that enthuse you privately? And can you begin to include more of the world in your beautiful self-expression? What is your passion, and how can you channel that energy towards meaningful goals? Now, this really just isn't about zeal, is it? It's really about living your every day-to-day life, your day-to-day life, day after day after day after day after day, with purpose and with happiness. And if not happiness, at least contentment, with joy, knowing that you have a right and a reason to be here, because you do. So I think the bigger invitation in this moment is to notice, leaving here today, because we come together, I want you to leave here different every Sunday with a new idea, a new path to walk, a new way of being, or to leave here every week laying something down, putting something down that you've been carrying, any kind of heaviness or shame or fear, to really walk into the world proud, not proud like pride, but proud like happy to be you, and happy to be of service to the world you live in small ways and big ways, and to allow. Do you guys have an enthusiastic person in your life that you love, that they're always walk in with happiness and positivity, not complaining? Well, thank God. Thank God there's at least one. Yeah. So we actually want to become that person and really model what that looks like. What does it look like to not be dragging ourselves around, feeling trapped, caught, bored, tired, sick of the news, sick of the world, hiding out, eating bonbons, which I'm not. You can have as many bonbons as you want, as long as you balance that with life. Yes? All right. So our affirmation today is this. I'll read it first, and then you're going to let me have it. My new CSL choir. Divine zeal energizes me. I act with passion, purpose, and joyful confidence. I think you do. I say yes to you. All right, let's just take a very brief moment to anchor this in prayer. a very brief moment to turn within, leaving the outer world, the life before, your life before this moment, anything going on with you, anything going on with your family or friends, anything. Just let it be as we take this moment to check in with Spirit at the very heart of our being. Feeling in this moment this space and place and dimension within us that is perfect. It is perfect now, always, and always will be. It is whole now, always has, and always will be. And this connection that you have to your wisdom, your creativity, your intelligence, your joie de vivre, your enthusiasm, your zeal, this connection that you have to all of that is because you are a spiritual being having a spiritual experience here on planet Earth. And so I simply speak my word from this connection and for this community in this moment, claiming, proclaiming, accepting, and multiplying your level of zeal in life, your level of unabashed joy of self-expression. And I know here and now that as we do this, we are received and celebrated by everyone. We are received and celebrated by life itself for raising the vibration of life. So in gratitude for this holy group of vibration raisers, we simply just allow this to be with gratitude and thanksgiving. How good it is to really live in our founder's key idea: change your thinking, change your life. And so I release this word with joy and gratitude for the manifestation of the word spoken, which is guaranteed. And so we leave this time of prayer at peace, waiting in joyful anticipation for the visible manifestation of the word. And we do this together by saying, and so it is, amen.